is up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back. Another live stream. Hope you guys are doing well. It's Friday. Shout out to Friday. Happy Friday to whoever is watching right now. And if you're watching on the replay, shout out to you. You'll probably fast forward through this little intro. But what's up, y'all? I hope you're doing well. Sorry if you hear a dog. If you hear noises, that's my dog chewing right next to me. I put I put the dog bowl right here, and he didn't eat until right now, right before the stream. So that's what I'm dealing with this morning. No, I'm joking. He's cool though. He's cool. You can't see him though, but he's a good dog sometimes. But all right, guys, thank you guys for coming. We're gonna be talking about how to get your first iOS dev role today. I'll give it a few more seconds to let any more people get on join the stream. It takes some time for the YouTube and the internet to know that we are live. So I just want to give people a second. And if you're watching the stream, drop a comment. Let me know, how are you? Are you doing anything this weekend? Yeah, let me know down below. All right, we'll get started in a second. Um, Feels weird. I don't really need an AirPod, to be honest. It doesn't play anything. It's a prop. But all right, let's do this, y'all. So how how do you go about breaking into tech or getting your first iOS dev role, right? Because that's a very daunting task, and it's like there's a lot of things, there's a lot of layers, right? Because the first thing is breaking into any industry when you don't have experience is a tough task, and you'll see like job applications asking for like 5 years experience for an entry level role. So that's always something you're fighting with, and then especially in tech now, like tech is super competitive. Everybody wants to work in tech, and not that many jobs are on the market right now. So where do you go? The first thing I want to say, and this is for people who are still early in their learning journey, is it's never too early to start applying. Like it's never too early to start applying, because I mean, what's the worst that could happen is they will say no, right? They're not gonna be like, they're not gonna get your application and tell everybody, look at this application, this is terrible, right? Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but that won't happen one out of a million times. So you don't have to worry about that. So it's never too early to start applying. And what doing that will make you do, it'll force you to do a few things. It'll force you to get your resume in order, because you're gonna need that to apply. And especially for tech, it's gonna force you to organize your LinkedIn, because hopefully you're doing that. If you're applying right now and you haven't fixed up your LinkedIn, then that's something to work on. That's, you can add that to your to-do list, because it's very important, because that's what recruiters will look at. And the other things they look at is your portfolio and GitHub. So what starting to apply does is it forces you to get those in order, like somewhat in order. And once you start applying, you'll get feedback on that. And that feedback will let you know, it won't let you know specifically what you have to improve. It'll just let you know, generally speaking, you have to improve. So you have to actually do some reflection and look up and like see, oh, can I improve my resume? Can I improve my LinkedIn? Can I improve my portfolio? And how I can do that. And you do those for each, and it's like a feedback loop. You keep doing that. You apply, nobody, nobody said that. And that's normal, right? That's not like you're the only person. Like you can ask like all iOS developers I know, like self-taught iOS developers who went into the industry, like they face a lot of rejection. Like it's not something where you're just gonna apply and get a job right off the bat. So making sure you have those in order is super important, because what you really want to do is you want to be an appealing candidate. And that's not just for like your first job, for any job. Like you want to be an appealing candidate so you get an interview. If you're not an appealing candidate, you will not get an interview. That's the main way. And of course the networking side of things, because if that's the other way to stand out, is if you actually know somebody or somebody refers you, then that can help you get your name on top of the pile. And shout out to Robert who's in the stream and just smile. Sorry, YouTube doesn't show your name. All right. Now I want to talk about so we have like four things to work on or like three. I'll say three. Your resume, your LinkedIn and your portfolio. And for your resume, well this applies to all of them, but you when you're trying to break in or yeah, when you're trying to break into the industry, you might have to create your own experience. That being through internship or maybe you can work on some open source projects. That'll be really good actually. Those two are one of some of the main ways that I've seen people do it, and they actually like succeeded in the end because those you actually learn from those experiences. Like if you're working as an intern on a team, you'll pick up a lot of stuff. You'll know what it's like to work on a team, and that'll help you stand out versus somebody who doesn't have any experience at all. And same goes for open source. Some jobs even like that. Like I know the super base community is very big on open source, and there's a few other places where the open source contributing to open source projects is viewed as a very big thing. So yeah, doing those will help you create your experience, and then what you do is like you create that experience and then you put those on your resume, your LinkedIn, your portfolio, and you keep applying, and then that's the feedback loop. And this process it's not like you can set a set date like, oh, you do this for a month you'll get it, or you do this for 2 months you'll get it. It's just the timing. It's There's no like specific timing. Like it can happen whenever. And do you guys have any questions before I move on to the next? All right, so what can you do to your LinkedIn and your portfolio? And I know this might be overwhelming, right? Like if you're just getting started and you're starting to apply, like you don't wait until everything is perfect. That'll not that'll just delay that'll just delay you and slow you down. So just start applying, right? And we'll fix up your resume and apply. That'll be number one. And then from there you keep fixing up your resume and then you build out your LinkedIn because that's the second most, if not the most important. To be honest, the LinkedIn is it's probably number one, resume number two, and number three would be your portfolio. So just start off with the resume, your LinkedIn, and then once you have a few projects under your belt, you can maybe look into getting a portfolio. And don't try to build a JavaScript project on your like a JavaScript website on your own. You're just gonna inevitably you're gonna overwhelm yourself because that then you're learning like a whole different language. And just use maybe like an easy and quick template website that you can use, maybe Squarespace or something like that. There's also Webflow. That's what I use for mine. And if you guys want to check out I the one I use for my job, I believe it's Jason. I'll put the link in the chat actually. And I haven't really updated it since I got my job. I don't really use this anymore. I just built it for the job search. And how many showcase projects on your resume? Two or three. And oh, well, it depends on your projects. Like if you have a massive full stack project, then just one might be good enough. Like if it's very impressive and you can really talk a lot about it, that'll be good. And to be honest, I would say that like you should have one project that you can talk very expansively about, that's like on the App Store, and you have like a few different frameworks, and was pretty complicated. Like it has some complexity to it. so you can talk about that just in the interview itself, and it'll stand out like on your resume and your portfolio. And then I'd have like a like one beneath that maybe, just to show like your versatility. So it's not just one. Yeah, that's what Bryce did. Shout out to Bryce. He's watching. Yeah. Yeah, he had one solid project. He had an Apple Watch application that tracked your heart rate for when you were doing like long distance running. And what's up, Anthony? We have Anthony here. All right, and another resource I wanted to show you guys or bring up is breakios.com. That's something that I'm launching today. Well, not well, I'm announcing it today, and it's gonna be a newsletter where I share tips and insights for you guys on the developer journey, especially for the aspiring iOS developers. So yeah, definitely check that out. And yeah, let me know down below if you guys have any questions about the journey, or any if you're confused or stuck with any particular part. Let me go back to what Just Smile said. People that study iOS for 1 or 2 years are now searching for jobs. Oh, this is interesting because I feel like this was the mistake, or maybe it wasn't a mistake, but the way it's phrased, like you shouldn't spend 1 or 2 years studying. You should just like you should spend a few months, 3 months, 6 months, and have like some projects on your buff and have like some understanding, right? You could start applying the day you start learning it, but I don't think that's gonna help you. Or yeah, it's not gonna end well. But maybe it will, because like not or waiting to start applying or start searching until it's right can kind of lead you to the place where you're now. Like now we're in a down market, right? So this is not the best time compared to where we were like 2 years ago, a year and a half, where everybody was hiring. Everybody was hiring like crazy. And then like you could start learning and maybe get a job, because that's just how the market was. But right now it's things have cooled down, and I mean it's the holidays too. That's why it's kind of went gone. The market kind of went to a halt, but that shouldn't stop you, and that's like that's just part of it. You just have to accept it and like keep applying and keep iterating through that feedback loop of your resume, your LinkedIn, and your portfolio, because you apply, and if you keep getting no's, you got to improve that. You got to improve that. And the last thing that would really help too on your journey is if you started sharing what you're learning. You and the way you share it is really up to you. You can share that on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. I think those are the primary. Maybe Instagram, just wherever, even Mastodon. Just sharing like code snippets or helpful tips. And I would say don't share like what is a Z stack. I mean, you could, right? But think about it like this: like maybe you solve or run into a problem that you have trouble or difficulty solving, and based off that, that's a hint. Oh, I should share this. So come up with a quick way, right? Like you don't have to don't think you have to go buy a whole production setup, a whole studio setup to start like posting a video or even making a LinkedIn post. Like you really can just be just hack your way into um into making like a post or something, like a post on LinkedIn or Twitter. You can use tools like Canva. Canva is really helpful if you want to make something. Can I give my views about Code with Chris and see? Oh yeah, that's see. I'm not sure. I never really used code with Chris, like the plus thing. I've checked out his videos in the past, and they've been really helpful. But I never had the plus program, so I can't help you with that. Ooh, this is a good question. Do we still need to learn UI kit and Swift UI? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Um, I would say I don't think you need to learn both, to be honest. There's developers out there who are working solely on Swift UI, and some are working just in UI kit. Some are even using Objective C. So send your condolences to them. But yeah, I think now there's quite a few, and there's quite a few companies using mainly Swift, or not even that they're using mainly Swift UI, but they'll have positions where you're just going to be working on a team that has Swift UI only. I believe the Chat GPT app is built purely on Swift UI. And that doesn't mean that you won't have to inevitably learn UI kit. It just means that you can learn Swift UI and get a job, and from there you'll learn like UI kit. Because the same goes for UI kit. Like you can focus on UI kit, and then maybe once you get a job, your job might be transitioning to more Swift UI stuff, so you'll inevitably learn it there. So yeah, that's what I would say about the Swift UI thing. And the thing I would say is with Swift UI, you're probably looking at like smaller or startups, like startups, companies that like move, or companies that like to move fast, like maybe OpenAI, which is a startup ish, a big startup now. And with the UI kit, I think that would open it might open you for more opportunities because it's just more companies out there that already have UI kit compared to Swift UI. That's the only thing I would say, but that doesn't mean that you won't get a job if you start learning Swift UI. And make sure if you learn Swift UI, make sure it's not just about UI. Like make sure you learn like some at least like Firebase or something or Superbase. Learn some other stuff that'll be helpful, like networking and yeah, because you don't want to be a UI developer. Don't be a UI developer. Ah, you're welcome, Santendra. I, I don't know how to pronounce the name. All right, Bryce had a question. What links do you usually use in your resume? I think I only have my LinkedIn on my resume. I only have my LinkedIn. I would have my portfolio, but I haven't updated the website that I use for my portfolio. And I'm not sure if I will because I just refer them on LinkedIn. But if you do have a portfolio, I'd probably link them there. Should I learn DSA in Swift? That is a good question. I would say. Well, I mean, no. I mean, you should learn DSA, right? But to get a job as an iOS developer at a normal company, which is not basically not a big tech company, because they're the type of companies who have the DSA interviews, then you don't need it. But the thing with DSA, it's just something that you should know. Like you should know the concepts. You should know the concepts of what like what's a dictionary, or what is it, a hash map? What's an array? What are the sorting algorithms? Things of that nature. You should have some familiarity. Like it shouldn't be foreign to you as a developer. But to get your first role, I don't think you need it. I mean, I didn't need it for mine, like because the interview was iOS related. Like it was because you'll see most iOS positions, you'll be asked iOS concepts. Ah, for this, I actually have a PDF with topics to get like the interview topics for a junior position actually. And if you guys, subscribe to the newsletter at breakios.com. I'll be sending it to you guys there. I'll send it later today. That's what I'll do later today. I'll send the PDF with the interview topics you need. And for a junior position, it's not that many. You probably need to understand like a good 20, which is not well, not even 20, maybe like 15 topics. And these are like small things like what is a weak self? What is a closure, right? Things of that nature, or how to make a network request. Things along those lines. Nothing. I mean, like just that you need to understand that and like have like a decent portfolio project. And I think from there you're golden. You just have to optimize your LinkedIn and your resume and stuff. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Drop a like down below. Well, I think yeah, LinkedIn has likes. I know on YouTube you can like it, but yeah, drop a like. If you guys have any questions, drop it in the comments. I'll try to get to it before we wrap up. And make sure you guys subscribe to the newsletter, breakintoios.com. And wait for next week or look out for next week. I'll be doing some more live streams. We'll, maybe it'll become a regular thing. We'll see what happens. I put on a blazer today, so maybe I'll do that a little bit more. And it's just fun, just talking with fellow devs and just helping you guys out because I know the journey could be tough. I mean, I went on it. When did I go? 2022. I think I forget. I forget the years get meshed together. But yeah, the subscribe to the Break Into iOS newsletter, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.